What are we doing today, George Michael? Boy? He doesn't care. Hello, Justin the Ozarks Gardener, here today with a word about fertilizers, organic and otherwise. So let's talk about this. What we have right here is probably the first thing that everyone comes to mind when everyone thinks about fertilizer, and that's Miracle Grow. And this is a chemical-based fertilizer. It's I think it's petroleum-based or something like that. I'm not sure, but basically, I don't use this on my vegetable garden. My wife can use it on her flowers in the flower box up front or whatever. I don't care about that because we're not eating that stuff. But I bought this a long time ago when I first started gardening because I didn't know what I was doing. But I'll not be using this in my garden, so try and stay away from that. I guess there's plenty of people who do use it, but it's a personal choice of mine. I'd rather do things organically and the old-fashioned way, which perhaps is not so old-fashioned, actually. Next to that, I have what's called azomite. It's a rock dust. It's basically a finely ground volcanic rock that replaces trace minerals in your soil. I've made a video about this in the past, and it's not exactly a fertilizer, but what it does is it gives your plants all the minerals that most soils are deficient of, which in turn helps them grow and makes your food more healthy for you, because then you're ingesting the minerals, and also makes them taste better, supposedly. We'll find out. Next to that, these products right here are all from a company called Boogie Brew Tea. They make compost tea, but you can get some of this stuff from other people as well. What I have here is C90. It's a agricultural minerals from the ocean. Basically, it's taken from an area where the ocean comes in and then it goes out, and that's what the ocean does. Tidal waves, or tidal stuff like that. But basically, they collect all this minerals after the tide goes back out, and it's like 90 different minerals that are good for your soil. Again, a lot like the azomite, but it's going to help things out. Then next to that, I have a hydrolyzed fish protein powder. Basically, what this is, it's a fish fertilizer, and what you do is, this is water soluble. You dissolve it in water, and you can either water your plants with it, or you can foliar feed your plants with it, which is what I'm about to do today. I'm going to put it in my pump sprayer and spray all the plants down with this, and they'll absorb the fish protein through the tiny little pores in the leaves of the plants, and it's supposed to be a really good boost for your plants. And then next to that, I have worm castings. This is Worm Gold Plus is the brand, but there's many brands of it. This is one of the higher end brands, I believe. And what this is good for is just as a soil amendment. It's basically, they feed worms lots of organic matter, and then the worms eat it and poop it out, and then the poop is like really good fertilizer for your garden. And so this is worm poo. Yes, worm poo. But what you do with this is you can either buy lots of it and work it into your soil just as you would regular compost, or you can use it in a compost tea or just worm tea like configuration, which will help extend the amount, which is why I have such a small amount here, because I use it in conjunction with this in compost tea. And what this is, you can make compost tea from any old compost, but this is a product that has been specially formulated to have lots of different stuff in it, whereas you could buy some cow manure compost and make compost tea, but it's really only has in it what the cow manure has in it, which is a limited amount of stuff. This has a wide spectrum of different things in it, and what you do is you put this in a filtered bag or something like that. You could use a sock or some pantyhose or whatever, and you put it in a bucket of water that has been filtered to get out the chlorine, because you need to get out the chlorine, otherwise the chlorine will inhibit the microbial growth. And that's what compost tea is all about, is microbial growth. You want to grow the beneficial microbes and the beneficial fungi and all that, and have them multiply in the water. And then when you water your soil with it, they get down in the soil and start doing their thing, and it helps out your soil, which in turn helps out your plants. The best way you can fertilize your plants is to have good soil. It's not going to be the Miracle Grow which is just, you know, a one-time shot. You need to like build your soil up. That's the best thing. Start with good soil, get a good mix going, and then keep amending it with stuff like this. But so making compost tea, you use a pump, like a aquarium pump, or you can just stir it up once in a while, but you got to get oxygen in there because the oxygen will help the beneficial microbes grow. And that's what the deal with that. And then the number one fertilizer, organic fertilizer for your garden, is going to be coming from that guy. It's going to be compost. It's going to be all my yard clippings and food waste, and actually I've been using ash from my charcoal. I use natural lump charcoal, which is, you know, there's no binders or fillers or anything, it's just carbonized wood, and I've been using the ash and the little bits of unburned charcoal from the bottom of that in there because it's just carbon. It's just straight up carbon, which is part of what your soil needs. So not too much of that, don't use like a ton of it, but a little bit isn't going to hurt things. But so, and just using that compost to amend my soil is going to be the number one. Where you going? What are you doing? Get back here. He's not really an outside cat. Amending the soil with compost is going to be the number one thing you want to do, and then you want to use products like these, you know, in smaller amounts, and to also build up your soil. And that's the key to organic fertilizing, is building your soil. It's not going to be any chemicals. You can forget about the NPK, you know, those three numbers that are on the front of most fertilizers. That's your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are important, definitely, but you need a wide range of other things in your soil, like the wide spectrum minerals that these are going to put in there, and you need the microbial activity that those two on the right there are going to put in. And then the fish protein is a great, you can buy liquid fish emulsion or liquid fish protein or powdered that's water soluble like this, and water with it or foliar feed with it, and it's all good. And I haven't even really fertilized any of this stuff, and it's all growing quite well just from the soil mix, which was from the Square Foot Gardening book. It's Mel's mix, which you can look up. But just starting with good soil is great, and then amending it with stuff like this and adding good organic compost that you make yourself, preferably, and that is the key to organic fertilizer. This is Justin the Ozarks Gardener, about to sign off once I scare my cat. George Michael, what are you doing? Hey, hey, hey. Hey, where'd he go? Yeah, see, now he wants back inside. He's like, that's enough excitement for me. Alright, Justin the Ozarks Gardener, signing off.